Hi, I'm Tom Tony, founder of Quest Rocket, and I want to talk to you about lithification and young leaders. Lithification and young leaders. What does this word lithification have to do with young leaders? Let's begin by talking about what it means. Lithification is the process of clay becoming stone. This is basically a three-step process that begins when clay deposits are made into voids in the earth. Clay gets deposited into a void, and then over time, compaction takes place, where outside pressures, other soil and so on, begins to press down on this clay deposit. In this process, then cementation begins to occur. This is the process in which moisture gets pushed out of the clay, and the ingredients of the clay begin to coagulate together into a very hard substance. Over this process, we see that this clay deposit actually becomes stone. So what does this have to do with our young leaders? We recognize this same process is basically what's going on inside of our own brains as we develop as humans. First, we see that there are deposits that are made into our brains. Things like experiences, influences, environment, and our own esteem get deposited into our minds and into our brains. Over time, then compaction takes place. Through the pressures and stresses of life and growing and maturing, things get weeded out while other things become cemented into who we are, which is the next process, the cementation. We recognize that compaction happens up to about the age of 12 to 14. After the age of 12 to 14, then cementation has set in, and what we believe and all that we know has become pretty much set in stone. We can basically look at it from this analogy that prior to the age of 12, we're like clay. Things are easily added in, we're shapeable, we're moldable. After the age of 12, we pretty much have learned everything we're going to learn and believe what we're going to believe. We spend most of the rest of our lives just chiseling away at what we already know. So what does this have to do with young leaders? Well, it shows us the critical importance of beginning early by teaching our young students how to be great leaders. We have a small window into which we can shape and mold these concepts and ideas into their thinking so that later in life they'll be set in stone. We also recognize that between these two mediums, it's still possible to shape and mold things. Just over here, it takes a lot more effort, a whole different set of tools, and a lot more time. So I want to encourage you today to begin early in teaching your young students to be great leaders. Let the process of lithification work for you and not against you. By instilling these principles early, they can be set in stone for the rest of their life. We invite you to join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow us and keep up with what's going on at Quest Rocket. You can also go to questrocket.org for more information. And for how-tos and so on, other videos, check out our other videos here on our YouTube channel. Comment below, ask your questions. We'll do what we can to answer them. For Quest Rocket, I'm Tom Tony.